Welcome to English Language for SS1 at LightTech Academy. Today we study figurative language in literature. What is figurative language? Figurative language is language that uses figures of speech to create meanings beyond the literal, dictionary meaning of words. Writers use figurative language to create vivid imagery in the reader's mind, express emotions and ideas more powerfully than plain description allows, add beauty, depth, and complexity to writing, help readers experience things in new, fresh ways. Literal versus figurative. Literal, the sun was very hot today, simply states a fact. Figurative, the sun scorched the earth like a furnace door thrown open. Creates a vivid image, helps you feel the heat. Comprehensive list of figurative language devices, WAEC level. 1. Simile. A direct comparison between two unlike things using like or as. Formula, A is like B/A is as X as B. Purpose, makes the subject clearer or more vivid by comparing it to something the reader already understands. Examples. She ran like the harmattan wind across the open savanna. Her speed compared to the wind. The traffic in Lagos was as still as a graveyard at midnight. Traffic completely stopped. His anger burned like the gas flares of the Niger Delta. Comparing intense, consuming anger to gas flares, Nigerian imagery. Her laugh was like the Benue River after the rains, wide, generous, unstoppable. WAEC question: what does the simile in line X suggest about? Explain what the comparison reveals about the subject. 2. Metaphor. An implicit, a direct, comparison, saying something as something else, without like or as. Purpose, more powerful than a simile, the writer states the comparison as if it is literally true. Examples. Lagos is a beast of steel and ambition, swallowing all who dare to enter. Lagos compared to a devouring beast. Education is the key that unlocks every door in Nigeria. Education equals a key that opens opportunities. The harmattan is a thief that steals moisture from the skin and cracks the earth. Harmattan equals a thief. The politician's words were a fog, obscuring truth. Words equals fog, hiding reality. Nigeria is a sleeping giant. Nigeria equals a giant that has not yet awakened to its full potential. This metaphor was famously used about Nigeria's economic potential. Extended metaphor, a metaphor that is developed throughout a paragraph, poem, or entire piece. Example, Wole Soyinka's poetry often uses extended metaphors comparing the state to a diseased or dying body. 3. Personification. Giving human qualities, thoughts, feelings, actions, to non-human things, animals, objects, ideas, nature. Purpose, makes abstract concepts concrete, creates emotional connection, brings descriptions to life. Examples. The Niger River whispered its ancient secrets to the fishermen who cast their nets at dawn. River whispers, human speech. Poverty danced into every corner of the compound, leaving no family untouched. Poverty dances, human action, poverty made vivid and personal. The baobab tree stood as a wise elder, spreading protective arms over the village. Tree equals elder, arms equals branches. Lagos never sleeps, it coughs, groans, and laughs through every hour of the night. Lagos giving human sounds/actions. The economy groaned under the weight of corruption. Economy groans, human expression of pain. 4. Hyperbole. Exaggeration for dramatic effect, not meant to be taken literally. Used to emphasize a point, show strong emotion, or create humor. Purpose, creates emphasis, shows the intensity of feelings or a situation. Examples. I have told you 1,000,000 times to bring your school fees. Nigerian parent emphasis, not literally 1,000,000 times. The queue at the JAMB registration center stretched to Abuja. Very long queue, not literally to Abuja. The market was so crowded that even air had to buy space. Extremely crowded, Nigerian market humor. My backpack weighs a ton. Very heavy. She waited for him for an eternity. A very long time. 5. Euphemism. A mild or indirect expression used instead of a harsh, blunt, or potentially offensive one. Used out of politeness, social convention, or to soften difficult topics. Purpose: to make uncomfortable or taboo subjects easier to discuss. Examples: he passed away instead of he died. Very common in Nigerian English, especially in Yoruba and Igbo cultures where direct reference to death is often avoided. She is in the family way instead of she is pregnant. He is between jobs instead of he is unemployed. NEPA has taken light. Nigerian euphemism for power cut, NEPA took it, is so common it became a cultural expression. The government is rationalizing public expenditure. Instead of, the government is cutting jobs and services. 6. Senecdike. A figure of speech where a part is used to represent the whole, or the whole is used to represent a part. Examples: all hands on deck. Hands equals the whole crew/workers. Nigeria has 36 heads of state. Incorrect: heads equals state governors, each head represents a whole person. The pen is mightier than the sword. Pen equals writing/literacy, sword equals military power. The White House announced today. The White House equals the US president. Also Rock has spoken. Also Rock equals the Nigerian presidency. 7. Metonymy. Replacing the name of a thing with the name of something closely associated with it. Similar to Senecdike but uses an associated thing, not a part. Examples: the Crown is reviewing the policy. The Crown equals the British Royal Government. Abuja has not responded. Abuja equals the Nigerian Federal Government. The bottle has ruined his life. The bottle equals alcoholism. The silver screen calls to her. Silver screen equals cinema/film industry, Nollywood in Nigerian context. 8. Oxymoron. Two contradictory words placed together to create a surprising, complex, or paradoxical effect. Examples: bittersweet memory, simultaneously bitter and sweet, feelings about leaving Nigeria for education. Deafening silence, silence that overwhelms like loud noise, the silence after a tragedy. Living death, a life so miserable it resembles death. Sweet sorrow, Shakespeare, parting is such sweet sorrow, applicable to children leaving home for boarding school in Nigeria. Organized chaos, perfectly describes Lagos traffic. Cruel kindness, being harsh for someone's own good, as a Nigerian parent may say, I discipline you with a loving heart. 9. Apostrophe, in literary terms, not the punctuation mark. Addressing an absent person, a dead person, a personified object, or an abstract idea as if it were present and could hear. Examples: O Nigeria, motherland of my dreams, when will you fulfill your promise? Addressing Nigeria as if it can hear. Death, be not proud. John Donne addressing death. O Sango, god of thunder and lightning, strike down the corrupt and the wicked. Yoruba poetic apostrophe. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's Kolobe. Nigerian national anthem, addressing Nigerian citizens as if present. 10. Symbolism. Using an object, color, person, or place to represent something beyond its literal meaning. Examples: the broken bridge equals the disconnection between old and new Nigeria in a poem about development failure. The harmattan equals in Nigerian poetry, often symbolizes difficulty, hardship, a dry and harsh season of life. Palm wine equals symbol of community, traditional Nigerian values, social bonding in Amos Tutwolas, the palm wine drinkard, and other Nigerian literature. Dark or night equals often symbolizes ignorance, colonialism, oppression in African literature. Eagle equals the super eagles of Nigeria, eagles symbolize national pride, aspiration. The color green equals in Nigerian context, hope, Islam, in the north, nature, also the dominant color of the Nigerian flag, representing agriculture. White equals purity, but also in some Nigerian cultures, mourning and the spirit world. 11. Imagery. Language that appeals to the reader's senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, to create vivid mental pictures. Types. Visual imagery. Sight. The Eco-Atlantic city gleamed like a silver mirage rising from the Lagos Bight of Benin. Auditory imagery. Sound. The Dondon drum spoke to the crowd in rhythms only the initiated could fully understand. Olfactory imagery. Smell. The aroma of egusi soup drifting from the compound stopped him in his tracks. Gustatory imagery. Taste. The bitter leaf soup was sharp and cleansing, a taste memory of his grandmother's kitchen. Tactile imagery. Touch. The harmattan winds cracked his lips and made his skin feel like dried clay. WAEC exam tips. 1. For every figure of speech question, name the device plus quote the example from the text plus explain its effect on the reader. 2. Key distinguishing features. Simile equals like or as, metaphor equals no like / as, says X is Y. Personification equals human quality to non-human thing. Synecdoche equals part for whole, metonymy equals associated thing substituted. Oxymoron equals two contradictory words together, paradox equals a seeming contradiction that reveals truth. 3. Know at least 2 to 3 Nigerian examples for each device. WAEC passages use Nigerian settings. 4. Effect on the reader. This is the most important part of any literary device question. What does it make the reader feel? What does it help the reader understand? How does it add to the impact of the poem/passage? 5. Always explain why the comparison works, not just what it is. Summary. Figurative language equals language beyond literal meaning, using figures of speech. Key devices: simile, like / as, metaphor, X is Y, personification, human quality to non-human, hyperbole, exaggeration for effect, euphemism, indirect polite expression, synecdoche, part for whole, metonymy, associated thing, oxymoron, contradictory words together, apostrophe, addressing absent/abstract, symbolism, object represents idea, imagery, sensory language. Nigerian examples: harmattan as metaphor/symbol, Lagos as beast, also rock as metonymy, Nigerian pidgin euphemisms, super eagles as symbol. WAEC, name plus quote plus affect, always explain the affect on the reader. Powered by LightTech Academy, academy.lightech.com.ng. NECO-approved SS1 English Language.